Hey, Tom Rabbit! I hope you got this for your recording. Hey, YouTube out there. Tom Rabbit likes to record these. Hey, Tom Rabbit!
Darth, I listened to your debate with Tom Rabbit twice.
It wasn't a debate.
I know. It never.
There was no debate. He was doing a dog and pony show.
You guys never got off the starting block.
No. I was willing to have an adult dialectic. He wasn't.
He never answered the first question.
Listen, little man, we're not going to play your little games here. What are you?
I'm an agnostic, but listen.
Are you an atheist?
By your lights, yes.
Okay.
You want an argument for why atheism
are
is
you
true?
Are you an atheist under the definition published by the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy?
I'll just adopt your definition of atheism. I'm an atheist, Darth.
I just wanted to know how he's defining his atheism, and he refused to answer it. And by the way, he claimed he doesn't know that God exists later on in his reasoning. Well, in order to defend that you don't know that God exists, then you have to defend that all the facts around you do not necessitate referencing the necessity of God. Do you think he could defend that?
Darth, what I did.
Hold on. Listen, you can change the subject momentarily.
No, I'm not changing the subject.
In order to instantiate and defend that you do not know God, then you have to defend that all the facts that you're acquainted with do not necessitate referencing the necessity of God. But that cannot be defended. So he can't claim he doesn't know God.
No, I agree. That's a great argument. But what I was
going to say
is,
I don't want to pat myself on the back. That is a great rebuttal.
Well, what I wanted to highlight, excuse me, was how he tried to. I don't know why he kept saying "by your lights" 100 times. I don't know what he thought he was accomplishing.
Look, listen, this is what for those of you who don't know, okay? I have encountered him on numerous Discord servers over the last couple of years. And I said, let's go. Let's talk about atheism. Every server that I've encountered him on, he has refused to have a dialectic or a conversation or debate on it, okay? Then after repeatedly ridiculing and mocking him for being the spineless coward that he is, all of a sudden he comes up with, oh, he'll only do it on modern day debate. And I pointed out to him, I'll be more than happy to do that, but you're going to have to deliver some bona fide adult behavior in that we're going to have an adult interchange, even if we drastically disagree on atheism versus theism or Christianity versus atheism, at least several times on some Discord server. And he categorically refused to do so. I said, good, then I'm not going to give you the time of day on modern day debate. I have been trolled so many times by interlocutors on modern day debate that my eye is now jaundiced in disbelief that they can bring somebody who won't troll. That's why the last time I went on, I only went on with Mark Drysdale because Converse Contender was moderating it and not that spineless jellyfish, James Coons. Okay? And so what you saw the other day was just him doing a dog and pony show so that he could upload it for more views.
Plus, he only wants to debate the fact that is a Christian God the real God. That's only where he wants to go.
I am more than willing to defend the Christian God, okay? But the point is, not believing in the Christian God is not atheism. Okay?
But his argument is so weak. If I got it correct, because Andrikis. Hold on. Hey, what's up? So Andrikis said that his argument basically boils down to if there are any contradictions within the properties of the Christian God, therefore that God, the Christian God, doesn't exist. If that's his argument,
how would they even establish? They couldn't establish that.
Well, they're just gonna use testimony of various Christians or
No, this
their
is
interpretation.
listen. Professional theologians laugh at this. This is sophistry.
Is
That the great making properties in perfect being theology are somehow contradictory.
is that a different argument he uses? Because that's not what he presented to Darth in their their
Well,
whatever
that's what
whatever you call it.
Andrikis said his argument was. Now I could be
Well,
mistaken.
don't pay attention to Andricus.
That's not
He's a
what it
troll.
was. I mean, that's
Would you
clearly
like to
not what it
offer it
was
now?
in the
Would you like to
conversation.
offer it? Would you like to offer it?
Yeah, what Tom said was that if the Christian God exists, then I would know he exists. I don't know he exists, therefore the Christian God does not exist.
He
Wow, that's
can't
dumb. That's
he
even
can't
dumber.
he can't defend
I
that he
know.
doesn't know.
It's even dumber.
He he'll just say he'll go, but I don't know. I don't know the Christian God is good. Good, defend that.
Yeah.
He can't.
He'd have to show the Christian God does not exist in order to establish he doesn't know it.
In order to say I don't know that the Christian God exists, then you would have to show that all the facts you're acquainted with do not necessitate referencing God. He can't do that. Look, Tom Rabbit has never been known for somebody who was intellectual about defending atheism, nor will he be. Okay?
Well,
All he was
is
doing,
by your lights like a phrase he uses all the time or something? I noticed he used it like a
yeah,
number of times.
that was just
Is
weird.
that like a quirk he has? Anyone else who listens to
Well,
him much?
who knows?
No, it was new. It was actually very new.
Oh.
You
For
know,
him to use it that much.
I've had over the last 10 years, I've had lots of arguments and debates with people. And that one has to go for the record books as one of the more bizarre interlocutors that I've had. He wasn't trying to have a sincere interaction like an adult.
I think he was very nervous, Darth. He knew he was
should
on the
be.
big stage. He knew he was on the big stage. He knows his argument isn't that strong. And so he did everything to avoid falling into the bear trap, which of course leads him to fall into the bear trap.
Well, he did
Unintended
everything.
consequences.
His argument was just a diversion to not tell us what his atheism entails. That was the first
Well,
question. What is his position?
Do you know what's even more bizarre? Do you know what's even more bizarre? Is all of the psycho atheists who posted comments claiming that Tom Rabbit was victorious. I mean, that's even more bizarre than Tom Rabbit.
Yeah,
I read those.
Yeah.
Those were crazy.
And
Well, Darth asked the right question, right? Or told him what to do. Demonstrate that you actually don't believe in God. And I guess I wouldn't know what that demonstration looks like, and he can't do it.
Darth, the reason why they felt victorious is because for an entire hour, Tom avoided ever even telling you what his position was. The starting question, he never answered it.
Well,
It's a victory.
It
Answering no
goes to show
questions
you-
is a victory.
Look, every one of them who cheered on Tom in those posts, this is psychotic. Okay? It's psychotic. There was nothing to defend. I mean, there was nothing to cheer on. There was no victory on his part.
Would you debate him again?
If he comes in here and he wants to have an interaction like an adult, I'll talk with him. But if he pulls that same shtick again, I'll end it real quick because it will be pointless. When you say, would I debate him again? There wasn't even a first debate.
You're right. Darth, I have to commend you on keeping it cool. That was actually the best part.
I think I was going to say debate him publicly and let him humiliate himself before the whole world doing that exact same behavior.
Well, I kept my cool with him because I was promised that if I was cool, calm, and collected, I would have a dinner and a date with Giada De Laurentiis.
Don't know who that is. Sorry. It's hard to be cool, especially when you got bad moderators.
You know, you have to
I
ask yourself,
can't
why is
complain about
it, with rare exception, on many servers, both controlled or dominated by atheists or where they predominate, why is it that when they can get away with it, they troll, they heckle, they drive by, they prevaricate, they obfuscate, they misdirect? Why is this so common and ubiquitous among them? Why? is because atheism is bankrupt.
Yeah. It's weak
completely
sauce.
bankrupt. They cannot defend the falsity of God. It cannot be done. Look, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but why is it that every single one of the professional atheists on the AMAs that took place over the last couple of months, there are about five or six of these, every single one of these people tapped out. They wouldn't defend their atheism. They couldn't get rid of me fast enough. And why? It's because I was staying focused. Tell me how there's no God. And they tried to bamboozle me with their atheist cliches. But I've been hearing these cliches for 10 years. I know when they're trying to pull the wool over my eyes. And so when I stay focused and I say, good, explain to me how that entails God does not exist. And that's when many of them had hissy fits.
One of the funny parts in the Tom quote unquote debate was when you finally gave up trying to get him to answer the initial question, and then you kind of said, "Fine, we'll talk about the argument you presented," and then you asked him to present the argument, and he was resistant even to re-presenting his argument.
Yeah. You want to talk about the argument now?
Yeah, give me your premises and tell me how you establish them.
Cool. Finally. Jeez. Okay. Okay. I'll go over it for you. Premise 1. You tell me which one you don't agree with. Okay. Premise 1. Either the Christian God exists or no God exists.
Okay.
Is that a yes, Darth? I didn't hear you. Can you speak up?
And is that based upon what? Laws of logic?
Do you agree with that or not?
Okay. Okay.
This is an internal
No.
critique, so
Okay.
it just matters
I
if
want to
you
know.
agree with it.
I want to know how you ground that. Okay.
It doesn't matter. It's
Are
an
you-
internal
are you-
critique. It's
is
an
this-
internal
this-
critique, Darth.
Because
He
he knew that as the Black Knight, he had already had both arms and legs cut off.
Yeah, but the point is he couldn't maintain it for too long because everyone it would be obvious even to the most obtuse person how ridiculous it is, where you eventually give in and then he won't give you the argument
Well,
again.
what he was trying to do was he was trying to rip off Alex Malpass's reasoning. Okay, who is an atheist and has a PhD. When I debated Alex Malpass 8, 9, 10 times, okay,
Yeah.
and I've asked him several times, how is it that God doesn't exist? Now, this PhD in philosophy, which I don't mean to demean that, okay, Alex is a nice guy. He's always been cordial. But all he could say is, well, I just believe gods are made up. I go, is that it? Anything more? And he goes, no, that's it.
Yeah, Alex Malpass, I think it was Ask Yourself and a couple other atheists, maybe Jack, had like a little powwow one time, and I think they came up with that argument against the Christian God. But no one has really presented it. I know that, but they've stopped. They kind of came up with it and spitballed it, but no, I think they realize that it's failed, so
Well,
they
if
don't
you
use
say-
it. But Tom's going to use it, right? That won't stop Tom.
Well, because he's adult. If you say you don't know God, then what you are saying is that you do know that all the facts that you're acquainted with do not necessitate referencing God. So how do you know that?
Brick wall.
Okay? No, these guys have hemorrhoidal attacks because atheism is getting eviscerated. Atheism, this is the power of the wisdom of God. Okay? When we simply take what God has revealed and we ask philosophical questions derived from what God has revealed, they collapse. Yeah, the atheists are the Norman Bates Society. They love that dead body and they just pretend it's alive. And if you don't know who Norman Bates is, look it up.
Well, Darth, if a man can become a woman just by saying so, Tom can defeat you in a debate just by saying he did.
Look, if maleness and femaleness only has to do with your mind, then why are all these transvestites trying to alter their bodies?
Oof.
By the way, did you get that, Tom Rabbit?